All right, we're going to be doing a, what is it at? that Jeep Pentastar 3.6 liter. This is the, look at that, it says Made in America. Made in the United States. This is the hydraulic lifter, but don't really need that, but I'm going to put it in anyway. So once that passenger side, what's the right side of the engine, the rocker arm here, the roller dropped, wore out, and it's ticking. So this is a normal thing that you have to replace on this engine if you watch YouTube. It's always the right side for some reason. Everybody has to replace those. I don't know what's going on with that side of the engine, but it's always that side of the engine that this one of the rollers on the rockers will just drop and then it starts ticking real bad. So I got that, and you can tell by looking at it that this one is raised up a little bit here, and if you look inside the engine, that one is dropped and the cam is rubbing, scraping on the rocker itself. I mean, this is a, I don't know, piece of junk engine. So I got the got one of the valve covers back on. That's the other gasket for the other side. I also got these gaskets. And it's funny with this kit, there's supposed to be 4 of these O-rings. Well, it takes 4, but this kit only came with 2. And these black ones are for the valve covers, for the plugs. So those are the 4 for that valve. I already put the other side back on. And once I get this in there, then I'm going to put that side back on. Then I got to do a compression test, and what else? I want to do a leak down test on that one cylinder. And then after I do the compression test, I'm going to put these plugs, got new plugs for it. And we're going to put the plugs, I'm going to drive it a little bit, see what it does, you know. And just test it. Just what I've been testing and working on. I didn't really need the hydraulic lifter, but I got it anyway. Most of the people that are replacing it, if you watch on YouTube, most of the people, when it's ticking, it's that right side of the engine, and it's either the top one or the bottom one where the roller just wears out. It's weird. It's like it's not getting oil or something. So that's that little part, and then I guess I'm going to take some video of that today. I'm just going to try to put this in today and probably get this valve cover on. And if I have time to do some other stuff, you know, but might get that done today. Definitely going to get this in and the valve cover on. And I already got the other side valve cover back on. And let's see what else. Then I just got to do a compression test before I put all this stuff back together, you know. And then a leak down test on that one cylinder. And then I'm just going to put it all back. After I do that, put the plugs in it, I'm going to put it all back together. It's not too much stuff, you know. And then I run it and drive it a little bit, see what it's doing, and then go from there. So yeah, if you're 3.6 Chrysler Jeep, what's it called, Pentastar engine is ticking, that's what it is. This little part right here, the roller runs flat. I don't know if that'll come on camera, but there's the part number if you need it. MR-1332. Guess that's the number. Engine valve rocker. And if you want the roller too, what's it called? Hydraulic lifter, I don't think you would need that, but there's the numbers for that. If I can get this bag to, come on man, that thing is moving it around in there. And there's numbers for that. I don't know which one's the part number. package. What does it say? Probably the 05184332AA-001. But most of the people on YouTube don't replace this when the engine's ticking, because it's not this. This is wearing out, and then it just starts grinding on the cam. And if you let it go, you will destroy your cam, because it's starting to rub on the rocker, and it just starts to grind it. So don't let that go. If your Pentastar 3.6 is ticking on the passenger side or the right side, go buy that part and take the time to take your valve cover off and put that in there, because you'll destroy your cam and then it's going to cost you more money. So we're going to see if we're going to put that on today, and I'll get video of that and probably putting the valve cover on. All right. Okay, there's the bad rocker. See how that roller is loose in there? And on this engine, it was this one. So all I did was loosen this. Just this one here is barely loose. And I took this cap off, took that cap off, and then start loosening this one. And this one's still on, the back one, but it's just loose enough where this will slide out. So that's all you have to do. And yeah, the cam lobes, if you notice, they rusted up just from sitting here. I'm gonna clean that. So here is the new one. Let me get the new one and see if you can see the difference here. I don't know if it's going to show up on this camera. Let's see if I can show. See how that one's flat and that one's higher? Because this one is, see how it moves in the roller? And that one is tight. So that's what's wrong with it. Ticking noise, 3.6 Pentastar, whatever the hell this thing is called. So not too hard. I mean, once you get all the valve cover off and everything. So this one I didn't have to take off. This one's barely loose. Took this one off. Took this cap off. I guess it depends on where, how much you're going to have to take off, wherever whichever rocker arm on yours is busted or worn out. But for the center one here, slides right out, just taking these two caps and loosening that one enough to see. You don't want to loosen this one too much. If that chain slips off of that timing, then you're going to have major problems. So you want to make sure it doesn't get so loose where you slip off of there, because I barely got this one loose at all. I just barely loosened this one. You don't want that chain to slip off. So we're going to slide that one in here, the new one. And I also got a lifter, the hydraulic lifter. I'm going to put that in too. All right, got the rocker arm in place. So there's the new one. I could not get the hydraulic lifter in there because got to move the cam so much, and I didn't want to get this chain to slip. Maybe you can get away if it's this one over here, but since it's in the center, I have to move that cam so much to get it out of the way. And I was getting so far out that I was thinking, man, this thing's fixing to slip off timing, and I didn't want that to happen. I don't think anything's wrong with the hydraulic lifter. It's just the rocker arm. You saw it was real loose right there. So there, I got it all in and everything, but I'm gonna have to pause because the weather is turning really windy and starting to rain. So got this all cleaned up here, and just need to put the new gaskets on the new O-rings on the valve cover, and then put this all back together. I got to clean the lobes a little bit better. Got a little bit of rust on them from sitting there, but I got to wait for the weather. All right, got this side all back together, and put the plugs in and everything. Did a compression test. This side's fine. Didn't see anything abnormal, and got this all back together. But then when I was doing the compression test, let me show you what I got here. I got this gauge. This is running. Put pressure on this, cap this end, and this is running into the coolant system, and I had about 15 psi on this. I had it capped off so it was holding 15. And when I was doing the compression test, these two cylinders back here, here's my numbers. This side is 140, 135, 142. This side over here is 142, 150, 140. But when I do these two cylinders right here, it would push pressure into the coolant system. So that's telling me there is a leak either in between this gasket right here or the head's cracked, one of the two. So now I gotta take this whole head off this side, and man, I'm dreading doing that because that's gonna be a pain. But it's gonna have to be done. It's just gonna be a pain in the, but it's got to be done. And so I don't know if you saw the other video, you saw where it was something was leaking out of the back one. I was thinking it was just, I don't know, I just wanted to double check. But after doing the compression test and having this line with air on it, it's definitely pushing air. I mean, it'll hold 15 pounds. If I have this on here, it'll hold the 15 pounds all day, but see, the 15 pounds, it won't leak back. It's not enough to leak it back. But when you're pushing 100 something psi in there, it's able to push it into the coolant system. And so it's either the gasket is broke right here or something else. So that head has to come off. I'm gonna have to pull all this back off and start pulling that stuff here off, and manifold and exhaust manifold, and get that whole head out. That's horrible. What a piece of junk engine. Alright, I guess I'm gonna wrap this one up here for this video.